Hey Stampers, Gaynor again, and do you remember the swing card I did the other day? Well, I'm doing a swing easel card this time. How cute is this? Look, and it stands up like that. It does fold flat if you pull the sides out to go in a normal 5 by 5 and a quarter, 5 1/4 by 5 1/4 envelope, and then you just pinch the sides back up, pop it like that, and you've got all this space to write a message. And there's your stopper, is that beautiful butterfly. Just absolutely gorgeous. So I'm doing thank you cards, as you know, and I've added butterflies on the side. I've used Beauty Abound for this one and the Butterfly Gala for these, and there's a gem just come off there I've just spotted. Let me get a new one. Can't have an odd butterfly. Oh, and it wants to come off. There's a lot of Wink Stella on that butterfly, if you can see. It's just absolutely beautiful. And on there, look at that. Look at the shimmer. It's right there, right there, look at that. On this butterfly here. And then the shimmer on those. Just gorgeous. And on the little ones. Love it. So I'm going to show you how I made it. This was off a template on Pinterest. So I did my best, followed it, and we're going to show you how to cut the card. I haven't done any of the pieces yet, so we'll do them with you. Stampin' trimmer. Take a piece of, I'm using lemon lime twist. And you're going to put this in at 5. I'm going to remove this piece. Now for me to get that in my box, I'm just going to trim that. So they're 2 equal parts now, and I've got card fronts there, so they're in my scraps bin. And this is going to take this down to, is it 10? Yes, 10. This will go in the scraps bin. And what you can do is move your blade out the way. And our first score line is going to be at 5 inches. Then we're going to take the card out. We're not going to touch this half now. It's all going to concentrate on here. You're going to pop this in at 1 inch. You're going to take your blade to 1 inch. And you're going to cut from 1 inch down to 2 1/4. I'm just going to lock this a minute. 1 inch to 2 1/4. Lift it up. Oh, can't have locked in it. And come to 2 3/4. And then you're going to cut that down from 2 3/4 to 4. Then we're going to push this into 1 1/8. And we're going to do exactly the same again. 1 inch to 2 1/4. Lift it up. 2 3/4. Two 3/4 down to 4. Gone a little bit over, but it doesn't matter. We're going to take this now and put it in at 1. And we're going to put it back up at 1. And we're going to cut from 1 down to 4. And then we're going to go in at 1 1/8 again. And we're going to cut from 1 inch down to 4. A little piece that'll come out. This will come out later, but we'll take it all out together. And don't worry, you know, if you cut a little bit extra, watch that little nick there. You'll see a tiny little nick on the end. See that? Just there. If you get your bone folder and just squash over it, it disappears. Isn't that great? So we've done that. We're going to now flip the card and repeat the process. So 1 inch from 1 to 2 1/4, from 2 3/4 then to 4, and then we're going to go in at 1 1/8, and again at 1 inch to 2 1/4, lift up 2 3/4 down to 4. Yep. And then we're going to spin this round to 4, and we're going to cut from 1 inch all the way down to 4, and then 4 1/8, 1 inch all the way down to 4. And then this piece should just pop out now. You can nick anything off with scissors if it's not coming out willingly or freely. Just take your scissors and just give that a little snip. The back pieces just fell out, that's perfect. And then what I did with these, you just pull them up and give them a little knit. What I found was, let's do the scoring first and then we'll cut those off, because I found it much easier. So we're going to take this now and move the blade. You're going to put this in at 1 7/8, and you're going to score just the outer pieces. 2 1/4, and now you can see you've gone up to that line. And then 2 3/4, and it will be this side of the line. So you're only scoring just the outer pieces. Perfect. Let's get rid of the trimmer for a sec. We are going to come back to that in a minute. We're going to cut a designer size paper for it. Now fold your card, making sure that both ends come together. And then we're going to fold this down and burnish. And this is where now you can go in and chop that little bit off. It needs to. So you've got a nice straight edge. Flip this over and do the same. So you've got square edges then. And then on this one, we push that up and burnish that. And again, with that outer piece, keeping it level with there, you can snip that off now as well. And there's your little bits. And then this piece, oh, is that right now? Let me just see. It gets folded up to there. Or it might be the other way around actually, so it just depends. No, that's right. There we go. There's that perfect little shape. What I tend to do then, because we've cut and my blade needs changing again, and Stampin' Up still haven't emailed me to say that new ones are coming in. So I like to go over and just tidy up the lines. And then what you can do is, so cute. Alright, now I've got to see there, just have a little play until you get it all off perfectly straight. You can use a craft knife for this. And then I'm going to snip that little end off as well. Perfect, that one's come off perfect. So there are your little bits. I'll pop them in my little tin here. Excuse me. Joe, I can't do with frayed edges. And I don't have a nail file on with me at the minute, so. Perfect. So, now for your designer series paper. We need 2 of these. At 4 3/4, that's why I'm using the guillotine. There's 2 there. By 4 3/4. I hope they replace the trimmer that they're getting rid of, because I'd be devastated if they didn't. And we also need a piece of this that measures, oh, where's it gone? Two and a half by 2.5. But what we're going to do now, we're going to cut that piece out, and then with the piece that comes out the centre, is that where you get your 2.5 by 2.5, and it saves you, because this piece is going to go in there. I might swap them around and have them opposites, so that fits perfectly in there. Nice little gap all the way around. So we're going to cut this outer ring now to go around here, and again we're going to get a trimmer. I'm going to put this in at 3/4, and we're going to cut from 3/4 down to 4. Oh, that doesn't help. That's my that's my score tool. So 3/4 down to 4. I'm just going to go back up to 3/4. 3/4 down to 4, and 3/4 up to 4. And that should just pop right out. Tiny little bit held on there, and I mean tiny. Perfect. Now we need a piece 2.5 by 2.5, and there we go, we've got it. That's going to fit in there beautifully. So there's all your trimming done. Beautiful. Let's get our glue and pop this inside. Just make sure it's unclogged. Yes. So I might have the little squares on the top. You know, have it like big squares, little squares, big squares. I don't know me, I like to be a little bit different. Why am I singing humming 80s songs? I haven't even had the radio on today. I'm not really a radio person. I like TV or the internet. I was researching. So make sure you, now you can pull this out straight, just whilst you add your designer series paper, and then we'll crease those lines up again. So I'm going to have the little squares on this side. Look at that, it fits beautifully all the way round. Making sure you got a gap either side. And they're even. That wants to come down just a little touch. Perfect. Now give these a really good burnish there, because you're going to crease them again in a minute. And like there where I went over with the cut lines, just press down and it disappears. So now we're going to fold them again and give them a good burnish. We're going to fold this back and give that a good burnish as well. and we're going to fold them up, that one over, because it's now got its designer series paper on, a little bit on the thicker side. And what I like to do as well, it's going to stand up on its own anyway, but I'm going to give it a little tug. You want it to, because when you add your butterfly you want to be able to hook it round. So I'm going to add now my big squares back on. You can keep, I kept them all the same way on that one, but it's entirely up to you. Beautiful. Just gorgeous. There we go. You will also need, which I've already pre-cut, a 2 1/4 by 2 1/4 and a 4 1/2 by 4 1/2. And you've got your butterfly punch ready. So I'm going to glue this in. Look at that, I hate that when it frays. And this is going to go on the inside. It's a shame to cover up that DSP, and I'm using the lemon lime twist because it's retiring soon, so I want to use up as much as and the gingham papers are going soon, so I'm going to try and use up all my old stuff. We're going to use this now to stamp on, and we're going to also use this for our butterflies. So you can set your card to one side for a moment, so you can give that a good burnish again. And also from the back, I like to do it. Make sure it sits, and then it's going to look fabulous. Fabulous! There we go. It even sits up by itself, but we're going to make those things. So I've got my stamp. I've got a scrap piece of paper. I have got my items sorted. Now I just need my ink. So I'm doing the word thanks. Oh, flipping it. I'm dropping everything. I'm doing the word thanks first. And I want it up in the top corner because you wouldn't see it in the bottom corner otherwise. Now I know I've got the lines up on there perfect. Oh, a bit close to the edge. Shall we just split that over? It was nice and straight though. Gorgeous. Love it. This is the bit I love the most. Love it. Did I use that one? No, I didn't use that one. I used this one. Just there like that. Gorgeous. And then I'm using my flourish, but I'm only using half of it. Hence the scrap. So I'm just going to place that there. Oh, that is just beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. I love this, and I'm so glad it's getting carried over. Love it. So that's there, and now I've got my butterflies mounted. And we're going to stamp this right next to here, and then I'm going to flip it round, and I'm just going to do the little butterfly right there. Perfect. You could stamp a little message underneath the card layer if you want to, but I think with the butterfly going there, it's going to look fabulous. You don't need, and you've got to leave yourself enough space to write a message to the recipient as well. So I'm leaving mine a little bit blank. Just going to give them 2 seconds to dry. Oh, I've smudged it. No, I'm not having that. Oh, wow. Why is that smudged? No, I'm going to have to turn it over. I'm going to have that one that's close to the edge. Oh gosh. No bother, at least it's done now before I started colouring than after. So, I know it is, because I just... That's better. Just get my butterfly back. Beautiful. Fingers crossed this one doesn't smudge. Just making sure I haven't got any on my hands. Perfect. So I'm going to leave that for a second to dry. Right, the colours I'm using are dark Daffodil Delight, dark Flirty Flamingo, light Granny Apple Green, and the dark and the light Pool Party. So I'm going to start with my leaves. Oh no, I'm leaving that one, aren't I, for a sec. So the dark blue is just going around the outside. I love this bit, the colouring. I might swap the colour of the butterflies around. Instead of having the yellow on the in, have it on the out. So I'm just going to add the dark there as well. Yeah, I'm going to swap it up. So these were yellow before, and now they're pink, and the outside was pink. I'm going to have the insides pink now. Your butterflies anyway, you can colour them any way you want to. And I've missed, have I done that one? Yeah. Perfect. Silence is golden. Sorry, I get such in deep thought when I'm colouring. It's unreal. I do apologise. I'm just gonna add. Do you know what I did before on this? I didn't do anything bar colour. I just put a dot on the ends of each of the swirls, just to give it a bit of difference. And now I can pop my pen away. The green now is going on the leaves. I love this flourish, it's beautiful. Just gorgeous. Nice. Oh, I love it. Love it. Love it, love it, love it, love it. Let's go into the yellow now. So I'm going to have the flowers yellow again. Because it's such a little pattern, I don't feel the need to try and add shade and all that, because the flowers are so tiny. And I'm just going to add sparkle at the end with my Winker Stella. Got to be done. Beautiful. Proper spring colours as well. Just gorgeous. Right, yellow on my butterfly now. Beautiful. So simple. It's the attention to detail, isn't it? You know, when you add the sparkle at the end, and oh, just make them beautiful. The cards that have been coming in for the challenge, oh my gosh, they've been outstanding. I love showing them off. You get so much inspiration from others as well, with colour combination ideas, and never think you would put that with that, and then you realise when somebody else puts it together it's just stunning. I love that. Beautiful. So that's the yellow. What I did then with the dark blue, I did like a silhouette around this butterfly, because we're going to go around with the pale one. So keeping it pretty even, and then down these edges. Just added a bit of blue on there, and then where the dots were, just dotted with the darker colour. Beautiful. And then I went round, I just went over everything with this. Because it's pale enough, it's not going to disturb the colours. I'm not even going all the way around to the edges. Grab my Winker Stella. Just add all that sparkle on there. Beautiful. On the flowers as well. On the dots. That is absolutely gorgeous. And then with these beautiful butterflies as well. So much iridescence on this, it's lovely. You should see the sparkle. I like to dab the smaller ones, it tends to get more on there. And this one I think is the one I've loaded back up with rubbing alcohol and a little bit more shimmer. So I'm just going to pop that there for a moment. I'm going to leave that dry a little bit. Get rid of that. And we can glue this onto the front of our card. Oh, I hope this hasn't clogged up now because I've left the cap off. Oh, it is. It needs... Yeah, it's okay now. Can't believe I made that smudge at the back. Ugh. Just Just going to add that onto my square here. Nice even border. Just give that a little rub down. Just look at the sparkle on that. Isn't that gorgeous? Let me just show you that. Beautiful. There is some on the flowers as well, but probably can't see that. So, right, first of all I'm going to cut this little one out. And then I can go round and I can cut these two out. Oh, beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. And I can save them for maybe in a couple more butterflies for another project. So I've got a strip of, these are off the small dimensionals, so I'm going to put a strip on the back so I know it's going to stand up. And I just don't need a lot, so that should be fine. Perfect amount. And then I can just bend those wings a wee bit, and then this can sit right here. So when you lay your card down flat, they can just huck it behind the wing and it will automatically sit up for you again. Isn't that beautiful? And then just add these wherever you want now. I'm going to have one up there. Beautiful. And then another one. I'm going to come down a little bit with this one. And add that one just there. Perfect. I'm going to add a dot of glue. Whoops. Just on there. And just down there. So this time the rhinestones won't fall off. If it doesn't dry before I get this plug in. Just like that. They'll dry out and I'll have nothing to stick them on. So my pokey tool, sorry for the sniffles then. You can add the small ones first. And when that glue goes off now, they will not come off. And then I'm going to add, and that'll help me to wiggle space them into the perfect straight line as well. See what I mean? Stops them from being tacky straight away until I get them in the line I want, and then I can once leave them to set then. Perfect straight line. Oh my word, look at that. Absolutely gorgeous, and didn't take long to make. Quicker than I thought it was going to be. So there we go. There is my swing easel card using the butterfly gala as a stopper. You could put maybe another one if you wanted an extra butterfly. You could have added one on there. Just you could keep adding them if you wanted to. You could put some on or what's it called, window sheet, and have them floating around the outside. Nobody would know. And there's the one I made earlier. We just swapped the colours of the butterflies around. And like I'm saying, I added this large, the small, large, and on this one was just large, large and large. But they are the cutest cards ever. And like I say, they fold flat. You just have to open up your flaps. And they'll go in a 5x5 envelope. You can either make an envelope or you can just use a 5.5 by 5.5 envelope. that I've got pre-bought ones, and just send them like that. Aren't they beautiful? And the beauty abound is this one and this one. And the thanks is from, where is it from here? Oh, there. Staring me in the face. So that flourish is just absolutely divine. I love it. My gorgeous little butterfly, which is now upside down. I was going to use that one. I should have put one in the inside, shouldn't I, and coloured that, but, and that's my thanks down there. And my blocks are free. So I've got my gorgeous butterfly beauty thinlets. I've got them double-sided because there's 2 lots of dies come with them. You do get quite a lot of dies with them. I found though that in the new catalogue there's a set coming out and it's 2 dies and 2 little embossing folders, and they still want to charge £27 for 2 small dies and 2 small embossing folders. I think I love Stampin' Up, but the prices are going out through the roof. So I will still buy, but I'll just do it sparingly every now and then. But I do love their products. The quality's second to none, but you know, there's quality and there's paying through the nose for something. So there we go, there's my 2 cards. I hope you give them a go because they're so easy to make. I'd love a thumbs up and a share. That would be awesome. There's no point showing you my notes because you would just look at it and go, what's that? S, score. Long side, L side, 5. Turn to the short side, put in a 1, cut from 1 to 2 1/4, and then 2 3/4 to 4, 1 1/8, and repeat. Turn to the long side at 4 inches, 1 to 4, 4 1/8, repeat, flip and repeat. And then you would score at 1 1/8 on the outer, 2 1/4 on the outer, and 2 3/4 on the outer, and top and bottom. Designer series paper, 2, that is 2 at 4 3/4 by 4 3/4, and that is 1 by 2.5 by 2.5. Whisper white 4.5, 1, and this one 1, 4.5, 4.5, and 2 1/4, 2 1/4. So if you can understand all that, you can screenshot it and write it down if you like. So there's the measurements. That's what I'm going to do from now on. If I can do it nice and or neat enough for you to understand, or just explain it while I'm talking, and then that way you can freeze the video, write down the measurements, and I won't have to do my blog. I hate doing the blog. It takes up so much of my time, especially with doing projects every day, doing the, oh, what's it called, the Facebook every day, keeping up with the photos, with the challenges. I don't want to be writing out blog posts as well, so give me a break. I've got to have some time for me. But thank you for watching, and I would really appreciate if you press this button right here and then press the little bell straight away. That way you'll be notified of all future videos. And like I say, I post every day. I try my best to anyway. So I'm going to leave you all now and say goodbye, and thanks for stopping by. See you next time. Bye.